Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. What do you think happens when you give millions of eager Destiny players a new space to explore? Well, we of course find every little secret and glitch that is humanly possible. In this video I want to give you an outline of all of the secrets and glitches that were found so far in the Destiny 2 beta, including the ability to have Daybreak last forever. You'll never complain about your ability cooldowns again. Let's jump in and check it all out. So let's go ahead and start with a way to get infinite super during the inverted spire strike. So you're going to have to wait around the starting area where you spawn in and wait for the Fallen to show up. Once they do spawn in, you'll notice some of the dregs riding along the road, so you'll have to defeat them and commandeer their pike. Now this took me a few tries, but eventually it worked. The idea is that you have to get on the pike at the same time that you activate your super. And there is a bit of a delay because you need the animation to sort of start or else you won't cast the super at all. So I activated my super and then a split second later got on the pike. You'll know you did it right when the sword is still in your hand, at least for the Dawnblade. This trick also works with the Sentinel Titan and the Arcstrider Hunter, although it appears to be much more difficult to achieve. Once you successfully achieve this, you have to go into your menu, then switch your primary weapon to a different weapon and then back to the one you were wielding. I'm not sure why it's a required step, but it won't work otherwise. Once you switch weapons, you can go ahead and get back out of your menu and then proceed to get off the pike. Now sadly, the only part of the super that works with this glitch is your ability to throw flaming phoenixes, but you don't have the ability to have infinite dodges. Either way, you can continue through the strike, and that's exactly what I did. So here is some of that crispy perma-Dawnblade gameplay. I have to say, that was pretty fun. Now, I fully expect Bungie to patch this before launch, so I wouldn't expect to see it in the final game. Now, moving on, we did encounter some sort of weird public event, enemy killing type thing, which might be linked to opening the Vault of Glass Lost Sector nearby. I of course read about this on Reddit, I'll leave a link down below, but I just had to try it out for myself. We went through a few of the man cannons and then ended up on a section where we had to fight a few major hobgoblins. Once we defeated them, we went through another man cannon, which led us to another portal where we fought even more of those same hobgoblins. Once we defeated them and went back to the original starting point, we encountered a very special enemy called a storm minotaur. Once defeating the minotaur, we proceeded back through the man cannon yet again and led us back to a platform where we fought yet another one of these minotaurs. We then proceeded through the loop one more time, and yet again another minotaur. Now, once we defeated this minotaur, we thought we had maybe completed the encounter because there was no other minotaurs around, but nothing really happened, so it in fact might be just a deactivated event from the final game. You can bet this will be one of the first places I come back to when I'm trying to gain access to this place. Now, of course, this was the lost sector I was referring to in my previous video, but this time, once we glitched in, we followed an alternative route that was a lot easier to navigate. Now sadly, I don't remember where I saw this alternative path being shown, so if you do have the source of this glitch, let me know in the comments. But either way, we kept on ascending the tower from the sort of inside, and then eventually got to the top. Once you get yourself to the top, you are able to drop back down to the actual internal space of this area. And as you can see, it's basically a giant room which features a drop that takes you farther below. Now, unfortunately, the rest of the geometry for this space has been left out of the beta build, but you will most likely have to take a leap of faith, jump down, and find the treasure below. Now here we are on the other side of the door, which is the entrance to this space, and if you follow the path, you'll see it leads right to this open area. Not only that, but we were able to jump up to a platform that features an exit teleporter. Now we already know that this is the receiving end of a teleporter because we've seen a very similar pad in a different place on Nessus. In fact, it is right behind where you have to activate the conflux. This was of course a very mysterious part of the strike, but it was soon discovered that it was in fact the receiving end, as we have an active teleporter right here after the second man cannon on the strike. Once you make your way to that cannon, you'll notice that it's glowing white instead of red. If you step inside the teleporter, you are taken to that red pad earlier in the strike. This is here no doubtedly because you're not able to go backwards on the cannons, and if you do need to come to this earlier part of Nessus, you would need to use that teleporter. So my guess is that you'll have to drop down below in this area, and then you'll have to teleport back up once you're finished. And then of course this is the receiving pad, so then you can go ahead and exit the structure. Now for science, I went ahead and dropped down just to see what it looks like. You are sort of hit by a little bit of electricity, and then nothing happens. You kind of fall to your death. They've basically left out all of the geometry and assets that are not visible from the normal parts of the Inverted Spire Strike. Now this could also extend to the final game, so you'll most likely have to load up regular patrol to be able to explore these areas. Now moving on, we did find another potential lost sector behind this pretty epic door. We found our way through to the left of the door. There is a fairly obvious crack in the wall where you can kind of find your way through, and climbing your way up the wall here will eventually lead you to a small opening where you can climb through. This of course leads you to the other end of the wall where nothing is loaded, but you can make your way to what at first looks like it might be Vex Milk, but it's not. It's just sort of misty ground, and then you can kind of swing your way around to the opening on the back end. There's a lot of weird invisible walls here, but you can make your way inside, and once you do, you find another open space. Now this one looks a lot more like it might be an actual lost sector, because this is no doubtedly where a boss encounter will be taking place. Maybe something like some kind of giant hydra or something. So making our way to the entrance, we can kind of see what the journey looks like once you gain access to the door. You kind of wrap around a couple of ramps here, and then it eventually opens up into that boss room. You will most likely have to defeat some kind of boss here, and then once you do, you'll gain the key, and the treasure may just be laying in the tunnel beyond. Now I believe those were the only lost sectors that were found so far. Again, we're dealing with a partial map of Nessus. I'm not sure if this is just how the Inverted Spire will be loading up, or if it's just limited because of the beta build. But anyways, moving on, if you continue down the path past the door, you can actually find one final glitch. If you make your way up the wall, you'll find a platform which features a lot of weird abandoned technology. If you look around the left corner, you'll see a platform which doesn't look too high up. If you're a warlock, you can glide as high as you can, and then activate Dawnblade, and then of course use that infinite dodge ability to make it to the platform. It's not very hard at all. You can apparently do it with the Sentinel Titan. We were able to get it done, but unfortunately it is a much more difficult thing to achieve, and there's no real point to give yourself that much of a hard time. Anyways, once you get to the other side, you can see what looks like the Exodus Black ship. It is the ship that has most likely been crash-landed because of its infection of Siva. You can see if you close in with a scope that the ship has originated from the Russian Cosmodrome, again showing you that this is a human vessel that was originated from Earth. Of course, now the entire thing isn't loaded, only simply because this is actually visible from the normal part of the strike once you continue past the cannons. But again, this part of the map is not supposed to be accessible during the strike, so of course there's an invisible wall here, and also there is a lot of missing geometry. If you kind of jump up here, you can see the floor is missing just beyond there. On normal patrol, this will most likely be areas that are fully explorable. Now, there are a lot of theories about Exodus Black and what it means and how it ties into the space, and I'll leave that for a separate video, but I just wanted to show you the glitch in case you wanted to get here. And of course, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who came out to my Twitch stream this morning. We had a blast exploring Nessus. A special thanks to Mantra and Sexy, my fireteam members, who helped me do this exploring. I really didn't want to provide a crappy experience for those who might be wanting to actually play the strike, so thanks again. Again, I am streaming the beta all week, so head on over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/futurefo. Follow me there, stop on by when I'm live so we can play video games together on the internet. But anyways, that brings us to the end of the video. I did want to mention that all of this glitching and exploring has got me super excited for the potential of this game. This is where the value of Destiny 2 will be. You're going to be able to explore every nook and cranny, and the best part is that there's actually going to be things to find. This reminds me of the reveal event where world lead Steve Cotton told us that he massively undersold Adventures and Lost Sectors, so I think they're going to be a bigger deal than we realize. Of course, there's that counter argument that we're going to find everything there is within a week, but it does seem like Bungie has found a way to counter that with a plan for a consistent stream of content, as well as things like flashpoints providing you time-gated events. But anyways, let me know down below if you found any other secrets or gems, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for my continued Destiny 2 coverage. And I will see you all next time.